if we can get the. Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. Megan, do you see me now?
No, I do not.
Oh
So
my
this is
God.
going to be
Okay.
really interesting. I'm going to be talking to a ghost for God
Wait.
knows how long.
Um, you're on a piece. You're on a Mac, you said?
I'm on a Mac.
Okay.
So
Shout out
this
to
is
Bill
the first
Gardner.
time.
That's first. Shout out to Ben in Korea. That's second. Thank you for being a member, Ben in Korea. Okay. Well, also before we start, everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Oh, Megan, you
Hello.
can't see Dashi.
I can't see anybody. I
Okay.
literally cannot see anything.
Can you like X out and go back in?
I could try.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
I wanna.
Peace
Yeah.
out. I'll be right back.
Meow meow meow. Meow 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 meow. I was listening to not Vivir Mavita by Mark Anthony, but what's the one like who would ever wanna be king? Viva La Vida, I think is that 6ix9ine meow 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 meow. Yeah, Coldplay. That's Coldplay? I did not know that was Coldplay. The some reason I can't explain. What like that one, like the um next the walls were closed on me. How do you see me now?
No, that's so weird.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry.
So I can see the comments. So there's
Okay.
that. Um like all of everybody commenting, it's popping up. And then of course I've got the comments to my right. So at least I've got that. But yeah, no, I don't get to see your beautiful face.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So
What it might be a good thing. Anyway, um
mhm. I mean, I've
we
known you long enough at this point that it's just kind of ingrained in my brain. So
yeah, when did we actually meet? So it was
2016 or 17? It might have been 17.
were we friends on Facebook beforehand?
I don't no, I don't think so. Because
Okay.
we were added to a Facebook Messenger group.
Oh, was it for the cosplay
It
event thing?
was when you were Bane and I was Poison Ivy.
Yes. Oh, and what was this song like? Where we do
Ugh. Oh God, what was it? Was it this?
yeah, it was a oh yeah, you can't tell. I'm doing the
I can't
dance.
See you. Yeah,
You can't
yeah.
see. Oh
So
yeah.
I'm just guessing right now.
Okay, yeah. That was a that was like my first paid cosplay gig. That was really fun.
Yeah, I
Um
forgot we got paid. Technically, I didn't get paid. I picked out a item from the store. So I
wait, really?
chose,
That was your
yes,
payment?
yes, it was like 100 or I forgot how much it was. It was somewhere between like 75 and $100 maybe, but it
Ah,
was about this big. It was Poison Ivy from the 1990s animated series Batman.
oh.
Um and like I eyed it for a while and he's like, I'll give it to you as your payment. I was like, bet, let's do it.
I
I will take it. And I still have it to this day on my Poison Ivy shelf.
I didn't they gave me like $50. Like they didn't give me the option to get something really cool for 75 to $100.
Yeah, I don't know how much it actually was, but it definitely wasn't under 50. That's for sure.
Okay, well, so in America, apparently I see it's such a strange thing because normally what I tell people is that a lot of times you either get paid what the job is worth, not what you're worth, or what you can negotiate. And I guess I didn't negotiate hard enough. You had the negotiation powers.
Well, you also have to think about it that I think you went through that specific cosplayer that we were kind of friends with at the time.
I don't even know who
I
it was. I don't.
uh a certain mermaid. We're not
Oh,
going to use
okay.
names just in
Yeah, we won't.
case.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Copy, copy.
But yeah, you went through her, I think. I was hired directly by the comic book man.
Mm,
And then I was put into contact with her to like make the details and stuff. But
yeah,
he asked me directly.
that's so cool. I didn't know that.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
I guess she just asked me, and she's like, "Will you do it for this?" And I just said, "Sure."
Why
Um,
not?
yeah, Mr. MC1 say, "Randy,
You know what? You know
yeah."
what? I'm going to text Charlie and I'm going to see what he was paid because now I'm interested. Of course, that's the only person I talk to.
Mr. MC1 saying, Randy, sorry, missed the intro to your lovely guest. Please share again when you can. Absolutely. So Megan Elizabeth, or if you go on socials, her name is Maguna_Beach, MEGUNA_Beach. That's her handle on literally everything, according to her.
Yes, everything. And it has been for the past like 15 years.
Did you see the thumbnail for this?
Yeah. I just was talking to you about that. I said life, Disney, obsessions, 90s and more.
But no, not the title, like
What?
the thumbnail of like the picture.
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna send it to you. So it was
Okay.
I sent it to your text, not your Snapchat, and it was us 5.5
Oh
years
my
ago.
God. Stop
I'm
it.
I'm gonna show the audience, so you're not gonna be able to see it, but I'll show the audience here. This is us 5.5 years ago, and you look the same. You look
Kind
very,
of.
yeah. I have, oh God, I
But it's funny
don't.
because we did two different shows.
We did.
Because we did the one at wherever you were living at the time.
Yeah.
And I remember you had picked me up from my friend's house and I was wearing my little witchy hat. And
Yes. Oh, and we listened to
then
all the 2000s emo stuff on the way back to the house.
yes. And then the second one was that one in the hotel. I think
Yes. The second one
that
was in the
was
hotel.
I don't fully remember that one, so
Well, that's because we were on some Lucy.
oh my God. All I remember is introducing you to Elenium and Excision.
Oh, well, no, the music videos is what I remember from that.
Yeah, with the dinosaurs.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was so cool. That was so, yes, I love
And
that.
me wanting pizza, and like literally before. Well, it was like the dawn of Uber Eats at the time,
Oh, was
and
it?
we're
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, what the hell do we want to eat? And we just wanted pizza. We ordered so much fucking pizza.
Hell yeah. That was
I
great.
was like, I don't remember how much we got, but I think there was a calzone or a stromboli and pizza,
Oh,
and
I vaguely remember the calzone now. Yeah.
oh, it was a lot. It was a lot, and I think we did actually eat it all.
I'm
It makes me want
sure. We were
oh,
there for like 2 days. Yeah, it was wild.
oof.
Dr. Fidgetal, aka Iron Man 616, reposted the stream. Thank you, Mr. Rand. Did she fight with you in Afghanistan? No, she is not a military friendo.
I mean, look at these guns. Come on.
Who? Oh, let me do it again. Now you're on widescreen. Who, Sergeant? So no, she's more of a cosplay friend,
Mhm.
and also just a. You are probably one of the very few constants in my life that no matter what is going on, we'll just text random stuff to each other via Snapchat. Um, that's and that's so like if
It's
there was
crazy.
yeah,
It's crazy because I don't have a lot of friends still from, like, back home.
yeah.
Like, once I moved to Florida, I lost, like, so many people,
Aw.
and literally, you and Charlie are, like, 2 of the only people, and then one friend that I made through, like, bands and stuff. And so there's 4. There are 4 people. 4 people outside of, like, family, friends, and stuff that I do keep in contact from back home, you
Yeah,
being one of them.
if there was a person that was looking at my life, like let's say it was like an alien. It's like, okay, Randy Chavez, we're gonna look at him. Who are the people that he talks to on a daily basis? They would probably look through like Facebook, they would look through YouTube, Twitter, and I don't know if they would ever guess you, but then like, wait, what? Snapchat? Wait, what is going on here?
Oh, what the fuck?
Megan is not. Are you on VeVe? I don't think you are, right?
No, no.
Digital clip. I ask you about stuff pertaining to VeVe because I ask you
You
Disney questions every now and
Yes,
then.
you do. Yeah, so anytime that you need, like, one of those, like, digital pins or, like, what's important and things like that, I'm the go-to.
I blow up your DMs. I was like, girl, what does this mean? What is it about? Um,
Uh, Mr. MC, Gilmore Girls actually is not my thing. It
Unfortunately.
It is not, which is funny because I was literally just talking to my boyfriend about this before. He brought up, he's like, "Oh yeah, Rory. Are you a Gilmore Girls fan?" And I was like, "No. No,
Ah,
I'm not." When I hear Rory, A, first it comes from like Princess Aurora. Because
wait,
like if I ever have kids, I would like to name my kid Aurora, but Rory for short.
okay.
And then the second Rory comes from Doctor Who, the male Rory. So when I hear Rory, it does not go to Gilmore Girls.
Okay, so wait, before we get to who I think of as Rory before Gilmore Girls,
Mm.
Aurora, can you explain Aurora? Is that one of Ariel's sisters?
So Aurora, you would think because it's an A, but no. Aurora, Princess Aurora, is Sleeping Beauty.
Okay.
So most
Wait, that's
people
her
don't
name?
know her.
That's her.
Yes, Aurora. Yeah,
I
she's
had
got two
no idea.
names. Two names.
What are her two
Princess
names?
Aurora.
Hmm.
This so her main name given at birth is Aurora. The second name, when she's taken into custody by the three fairies for protection, is Briar Rose.
Okay, wait, so I don't I guess I feel like I've seen Sleeping Beauty. I guess it was 30 plus years ago. We're getting so
How
fucking old.
could you not see
Um,
it?
but well, no, I've seen it before, but
But like
why is she taken into custody?
because Maleficent, the
Okay.
Empress of all evil,
Yeah.
um, is not invited to her pretty much her christening. It's technically her christening.
Okay.
She's
Wait,
born
who doesn't invite Maleficent? Is it
the
like
king and the queen. The
so
king and the
okay, so she's
queen.
the princess. What king and queen of who? Who what are the names?
King Stefan, and I don't know if the queen has a name actually.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Um, but they throw a party in whatever land it technically is. Um, it kind of takes place in France.
Okay.
That's what we think. But she's brought into the world, big party to celebrate her. So pretty much the christening. And all of the fairies in the land are invited, all the people of the land are invited, and all the fairies give her a gift as like her welcome to the world.
Mhm.
Um, so everybody else is invited except for Maleficent.
Okay.
So Maleficent being the Empress of all evil, or Mistress of all evil, technically. Empress sounds better though.
Yeah.
Um, she finds out, shows up at the christening, and is like, "Oh, a party, and nobody invited me. Somebody forgot," or something like that. So she then scoots in front of the last main fairy, because there's a lot, but they're the three. So we got Flora, Fauna, Merryweather. So she scoots in before
Wait,
Merryweather.
flora and fauna are the like
Yes.
when you die and you get put in the ground, like the flora and fauna that feast on you. Is this like Grimm
That's
Brothers shit?
crazy. It's Hans Christian Andersen
Is he part of the Grimm
originally.
Brothers?
No, but the Grimm brothers take from Hans Christian Andersen.
Okay, that's fantastic names. And the other one's Merryweather?
Yes.
Okay.
So Merryweather's the blue one. And Merryweather's the last one, and she's about to give her a thing, and Maleficent comes in. Maleficent then says that, "Oh yeah, I give you the gift of," so she's got beauty and whatnot. She says on her 16th birthday, she is to prick her finger and die. It's like,
Why
oh,
die?
die. Yes. The- there is no, honest to God, I don't think any other villain in the Disney like universe is as bad as her, other than Hades. They're kind of like
A
they're
Scar?
equal,
I
I
feel like
think.
Scar killed people too. Well, he killed
Well, yeah,
animals.
Scar was gonna kill Simba, I guess.
He killed
But
Mufasa.
yeah, but that was more for the throne. So
Yeah,
it's not that it's warranted, but
but there's
like that
reasons. Like,
there's reasons.
okay,
Granted, Hades is the same thing.
yeah,
Hades went to kill Hercules to try to take over the,
yeah,
the upper world, the god world,
yeah. So
because
she was
that
just
was the
petty.
heir.
Maleficent was
She
just,
was just petty. There was nothing
yeah.
for her to take over. There's no kingdom for her to take over.
Yeah.
She's got her own freaking kingdom. And Yeah, no, she just did it because she didn't get invited to a fucking party.
Damn, that's like 50 Cent releasing a documentary on Diddy, like just because
Yep.
he got disrespected one day.
Yep. Yep. So it's just like, she's like, you didn't invite me to this party. Your kid can die now. Bye bye. So she
Damn.
disappears. Meriwether is now the last fairy, and she counteracts all of that and says, on your 16th birthday, when you prick your finger, you are going to fall into a deep sleep, and there will be a curse over the kingdom, and it will be broken by true love's kiss.
Hmm.
So, of course, now they're afraid that, oh, she's going to come back. So, the three fairies disguise as peasants. They take the baby for 16 years, hide her in a cottage in the woods. They don't use magic, nothing, so they can't be detected
Yeah.
until the 16th birthday, when they decide to use magic to make her dress, which is blue. It is not pink. It is blue. Um, and they are found by Diablo, who is Maleficent's right hand man, which is
Mhm.
just a raven, crow, whatever. I think it's raven, technically a raven.
Okay.
I can't tell the difference between crows and ravens sometimes.
Yeah, same.
I know one's smarter,
I want to
as far as
defend,
I
I
know.
want to befriend both because apparently if you give them food, one, they remember you, and then two, they like give you trinkets. And
Yes,
most
they
of the time
bring
it's like,
trinkets.
yeah, most of the time it's like trash, but sometimes it's like diamonds and shit. It's like, oh my God, it's awesome.
It's like, what? Where'd you get this? I'll take
Mhm.
it. Just leave out a little bowl. Like, yes, leave the trinkets. Leave the gifts.
Hell yeah.
Um, so yeah, so they take her, they celebrate her birthday. She is to be brought back to the kingdom on her 16th birthday. So back when the christening happened, they found all of the needles, the spindles, which I left out that she was going to prick her finger on a spindle. So like a cotton spindle,
Mm,
or silk spindle, whichever one you want to use.
mm.
So they burned all of them in the kingdom, every single one, which doesn't really make sense, because now how the hell are you making your clothes?
Yeah.
Because we they that there was no sewing machines. You sewed by hand, but to make anything, you had to weave silk and cotton, and that's how you weaved silk and cotton. So there's a discrepancy there. That just doesn't make sense. I guess for 16 years they wore the same freaking clothes.
Okay.
Um, so they bring her back to the kingdom. They're she hasn't even met her parents yet. Um, she's depressed because right before she came back to the kingdom, she was in the woods frolicking with her little friends, her animal friends, and Prince Philip, which is the prince from the kingdom over, who she was betrothed to when she was a baby, but she doesn't know this yet. um, he finds her in the meadow and they dance Once Upon a Dream. She thinks that
Oh,
she's met him.
oh, that's so
Um,
exciting. That's so cute.
right? It is. It's beautiful. So she's got to go. And now he's very sad because he knows he's just found his true love.
Mm,
So now she doesn't want to leave because she goes back to the cottage, tells her fairy godmothers, which she didn't know they were fairies. They were just
yeah,
her aunts. And she pretty much was mad like any teenager would be. I just
yeah,
found true love and you're making me do something I don't want to freaking do.
yeah.
Absolutely not. So she had a hissy fit and then she cried onto a bed. Um, Gets back to the kingdom and immediately hears a voice in her head, and it is Maleficent, because now she knows where she is. She found her. Like, hey, three fairies, you fucked that up. You fucked up. You used that magic and you got found. Um, so Maleficent gets into Aurora's head, or Briar Rose technically right now,
Yeah,
because she still doesn't know she's Princess Aurora. She just sees herself as Rose.
yeah.
Um, she follows the voice because now she's being hypnotized, and boom, she sees the spindle. She's like, oh, what? What is this? This seems interesting. Let me touch it. Boom, on the floor, just sprawled out. Maleficent thinks she's dead, but she doesn't realize that Merryweather just concocted her bullshit so she doesn't die. So now the three fairies realize, because Aurora has said, "Oh, I met somebody." She's like, "We've got to find him. That's true love's kiss." Really realizing it's Prince Philip. They get him, that he's now got to fight Maleficent. She becomes a big ass dragon.
She becomes a
He slays
dragon?
her. She becomes a dragon, and it's the coolest dragon ever. Like, what other villain really like shapeshifts? I know there are a few, but
What
she was the
what
OG.
color is this dragon?
She is black with kind of like a purplish tint and green.
Do you think the dragon that Donkey boinks at the end of Shrek is related to Maleficent anyway?
No, because she's red. It's funny. I actually last year, at my last job,
Mm.
um, the school did Shrek, and in the last minute, they had to recast the dragon. I became the dragon, and I had my own song.
It's amazing.
um, but that, sorry, sidetrack.
Mm.
So yeah, dragon gets slayed. Prince Philip makes his way to the tower, kisses his potential bride at this point. She wakes up, sees it's him, super excited. They walk down because now the kingdom has woken up. The kingdom is like has no idea that 16 years has passed.
Yeah.
Or no, was it 16? No. It was
70?
in the book, in the actual book, it was like 100 years.
What?
Um
How does? Okay, that really brings into question like how they age and how that or time moves
just
differently in that part of the world.
I don't know. It was just magic, like a bubble. But in the actual in the Disney movie, technically it's like a day or something. But they
Yeah,
do all go to sleep when she pricked her finger.
yeah.
So they all now wake up and they have a party. And Philip and Aurora walk down the stairs to both of their fathers, both kings, merriment. They realize who's with each other and they're like, well, we didn't have to intervene. Fate was on our side, I guess. And they lived happily ever after. Once upon a dream. The end.
So okay, there's a lot to. It's supposed to be 16 years. So how old is she actually? Is she 16 or like
She's
116?
16. No, she's 16. So in the actual story, um, it's like 100 something, 116. I actually don't, I would assume it was 16. I can't remember if it was directly 16 or like older or younger in the book, but in Disney, she was 16.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
So there's
yeah.
Mr. MC1 saying that you are a Disney Wikipedia. There's this one girl called VeVe Magic in the community, which I think you would get along with very well. So she was
Mhm.
with me. She was one of the prizes in August of last year,
Oh,
or
when
I
you
guess
were down here, that I was supposed to technically be the tour guide.
and then you were in Georgia or South Carolina or something.
I think it was North Carolina.
Yeah, you were somewhere, and
Yeah.
so me and her were the prizes in this charity event. And anyway, she's awesome. She likes to day drink with me. She goes hard. She parties hard, and she's a great gal. Anyway, you'd love her. I'll introduce you guys sometime. Um, when was the last time you've been to New York Comic Con?
Oh goodness, 2017.
Okay, I
Yeah, so it was
remember
literally right, yeah, because we hung out.
they
Um,
also I borrowed your tutu for my Deadpool thing, and
yes,
then
that
they
that was
used
the same year. Yes.
that was the same year. Okay, it wasn't the next year after or anything. Okay.
Nope, because that's when I did Black Widow Ballerina.
Yes, that was great. That was great times. Um, we had some good times. um, it was so yeah. So damn, that was the last time. Do you go to MegaCon down there in Florida?
I went, was it last year? No, I went 2024, before I moved back down to Florida.
Okay.
Um, I came down for my birthday because it was literally my birthday weekend. Went all 4 days, cosplayed 3 of the 4 days.
Hmm.
I cosplayed as Briar Rose, so in her
Okay.
peasant outfit. I cosplayed my original Poison Ivy that I worked on. I got made it better, a lot of
Okay.
alterations. Um, the wig was awful though, because back then I was using my real hair.
Hmm.
Um, and then what else? Oh, I did the original Wanda. So,
Wanda from like Fairly Odd Parents.
well, actually, I did that for Halloween. No, Scarlet Witch.
Oh, okay, cool, cool. That's
Yeah,
dope. Oh, freaking love her.
yeah.
I think yeah, I just brought up a Vision quote from WandaVision. I'm surprised you haven't seen it. The first couple episodes are like
Did you just say I've never seen it?
no, no. I said that I brought up the Vision quote from WandaVision. I'm
Yeah, you
surprised you've
did.
never seen
Yeah.
it.
I mean, I just don't remember the quote. I can't
Oh, but you
like.
have seen it though.
Well, yeah, I saw the whole thing,
Did
the whole
did I mention
series.
that to you, or did I mention that to someone else?
No, you said the quote, yeah, before you brought up the Vision,
Oh,
but
okay, yeah,
I
yeah.
never said that I didn't see it.
Oh, okay. Disregard. um, yeah. So I didn't. The first few episodes are kind of hard to get through. They were like, eh. Um,
Kind
I
of.
loved like the last few though. They were great.
Yeah, it got better, and then it kind of, mm,
Yeah.
eh,
I don't know. I love the last like few episodes. I love Vision. Vision's just like my guy. So I was asked her to join you for the Disney drops of VeVe Magic and Dana Sensi. We can do well. So let me ask you this: there's I don't want to say a rift. There seems to be a people that like digital media because of the fact that it doesn't take up
mhm,
as much space.
mhm,
You don't have to worry about stuff cracking,
yeah,
temperature, or whatever. And then there's people that only like physical media because I guess something happened with Sony where you buy the digital version of the game and then the rights from Sony for some of the games got like you bought the digital version and then they lost the rights and then you couldn't use the digital version to play the game and they're like, what the heck is
mhm.
this? This is why physical media is better. What side do you tend to fall on? Do you fall on physical is better or digital is easier to maintain?
Honestly, it depends. Um, I used to be really into having physical because I like to collect items. Like that's the
Same,
autism. I just like
same.
things. Um, but I also get really cluttered too.
Yeah,
So as I got older, I started only having like physical things that I really enjoy to be able to like show off. Um, it, kind of like my pops. I'm gonna use pops as an example,
okay,
where I only collect a few Disney ones that I'm really interested in. I have a bunch of Nightmare Before Christmas ones. I have every single, or not every single one, but most of the Poison Ivy pops that were put out. Um, but I might have one or two where it's like, okay, it was kind of there, I'll just grab it. But everything else, I just like to look at, like, oh, let me surf. This is really cute, but I'm not going to buy it. Um, or so it stays on the computer type of thing. I just look at
mhm,
it and it's like, yeah, that's really pretty, but I'm not going to put it on my shelf.
yeah,
So same for digital, where it's like, well, I would want it potentially. It's nice, but like I'd rather just keep it here. I don't want to display it.
yeah,
So with the day and age of having computers, having phones, digital can be great. But at the same time, it can also, you can possibly lose it all.
yeah.
Um, like this is not to be political, but it's kind of funny. Um, so I was going through my storage unit last week because last Tuesday, I think it was, I moved out of one storage unit, which was more north of where I was living. It was about an hour and a half away
Yeah.
because I thought I would be living up there. And I really want to go through everything. I want to sell some things. So I moved it not too far from where I'm living now. Going through a box, just trying to like put things to either sell pile or another box to keep. And I find this little tiny pocketbook.
Fine.
Not bag, not pocketbook bag, but like a book that's like pocket sized.
Okay.
And it's the Declaration of Independence.
Why do you have that?
Why? I don't know. But I said to my mom, because I was on the phone with her, I was like, you know what? I think I need to find the Constitution. I need to get the pocket version of the
Okay,
Constitution
Nicolas
right
Cage.
now. Uh More so because I'm just like, well, this little book was like from 2002. So it can't be rewritten type of thing. And I'm not saying this is not to say things are rewritten, history is being rewritten or anything like that, but it's like in the current climate that you never know what you're reading and if it's true or not. So that
That's a good
physical
point.
thing is it's important.
Yeah.
So certain physical things are very important. Um,
Agreed.
or perfect example, back to Disney, Lilo and Stitch. If you have the physical VHS from when it first came out,
Mhm.
Lilo goes into the dryer or the washer. She hides in there.
Yeah.
Um, they changed that. So the physical, like the digital versions now, and anything that was put on DVD
Yeah.
later has now been changed to a table with a curtain.
Oh.
So if you don't have that original copy, you
Yeah.
have no idea that she was in a dryer.
So that I assume they did that because like 3 kids or 5 kids die each year from going into washers or dryers or some shit like that.
Probably. Yeah,
Okay.
it seems like child abuse.
Okay.
Um, but at the time it was funny. Like
Yeah, it is. It is funny.
she
Um,
fits in there. Like, come on.
yeah, it's just small. There's
But I see why they changed it because now they think that kids are gonna go do it.
yeah. I mean,
But
I feel like back in the day, you had Yosemite Sam and you had like all these Looney Tunes do like outrageous shit, shooting each other and whatever, and nobody did any of
yeah,
that. And one kid eats Tide Pods, and suddenly it's a Tide Pod challenge, and then it goes to craziness. There,
honestly, we're at a point in humanity that, and I've been posting about this for God knows how long because I just watched the movie again, but we're at the brink of idiocracy.
heard that, yeah.
Like we are there, right down to the Crocs. People have no idea. Like they have no common sense.
I've
There's
seen
no
that.
common sense in the world
Yeah.
anymore, and it's sad. So it's like now you have to put warnings on literally everything. Don't put your finger in the socket. Don't leave this overnight. Don't sit on a fire. Like it- even at the Ren Fair, if you go to the Ren Fair,
Love
the
red
like sword
bears.
swallowers and the fire breathers and the whippers, they
Yeah.
all have to say like, don't do this at home. Because what are people gonna freaking do? They're gonna do it at home. Oh yeah,
I
I
feel
could
like
do that. Oh my god.
people back in the day they knew what to do and what not to do. Like WWE, like don't try this at home. Like you could still do that because
Yeah,
that wasn't
or
that dangerous.
Jackass. You look at
Yeah,
Jackass. I grew up on Jackass. That was
hell
my
yeah.
thing. Did I jump from bed to bed sometimes and do really stupid shit saying, "My name is Megan, welcome to Jackass"? Sure. Sure. But or like
I
get
love
on
you.
my I one thing I did do, I was into BMX bikes. So I was at
Okay, I did not
Tomboy.
know
I
this
had
about you.
Yeah, I was into BMX bikes and I had the pegs on my bikes.
I-
And like I could stand on the front, stand on the back, do tricks. I was not good at tricks, but I tried. So I used to camp in New Hampshire. That was our like twice a year thing. Um, we did other things like go to Pennsylvania, Amish country because we were poor. These are poor
Same,
people trips.
same.
So we would go camping usually like Memorial Day and Labor Day in New Hampshire, because my dad's best friend lives in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
So we, um, what was the place called? It was like Ferdinand or something like that. I don't know.
This is in New Hampshire?
Yes, it's
So it's
now a
Rogers
KOA.
Campground. Okay.
Um, where was it? It was right outside of Littleton. Um, and where was it? Yeah, I don't know. That will annoy me. But
Okay.
anyways, so we were tenters until we finally decided to do cabins, but that
Yeah.
was years later. So it was not, I'm not gonna say multi-tiered, but it was a mountain-ish area. So like you had the bottom tier, and that's where the pool and the playground was. And then like you'd go up the gravel road, you get to like a little area to get to the other side. And then there was another like hill to go up to like the top. And it wasn't like huge, but the hills were pretty big. Um, so I decided, because I would ride my BMX down the first hill and
Okay.
get some traction. And of course, it's a gravel road. There's a lot of rocks everywhere.
Okay.
There's imperfections. Um, it wasn't awful until I decided to do my own jackass, where I went up to the second hill to go down the first hill, or the second hill to the first hill. Um, Completely wiped out 3/4 of the way down. And the kickstand, so my arm ended up hitting into the peg and then the kickstand. So I got cut by the peg, and the kickstand kind of cut me even more, to the point that
Okay.
I do have like a bit of a scar going down my arm since I
Damn.
was like 8 or 9. Um, but yeah, I'm like the original jackass.
Oh God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So before I go into other stuff, I want to go back to the hidden media, and there's some things that I feel like make sense where it's like, okay, this is why they changed it. One
Hmm.
of which is the Netflix version of what's that Mel Gibson movie where it's like freedom, William Wallace, Braveheart. Um, it it has like this badass quote, like from
Hmm.
like Thomas Jefferson or something, like when you know government becomes tyrannous or whatever, like freedom becomes duty or liberty becomes
Hmm.
like something like that. They edited that part out of the movie. Like it's like the first like 10 seconds in like the
Hmm.
UK version. And they like that was and like why are they doing that? Like I don't freaking know. Like so originally people were just like I remember this happening. Like I thought there was a quote and they thought it was like a Mandela effect. But then it
Hmm.
was like, oh no, they just edited it out. And that's another reason to have physical media because governments will edit stuff out. But going to Mandela effect, have you had one of those? And if so, what was your most powerful one? If you've had more than one.
I don't know, because I feel like it's all the basic ones that everybody else thinks, like Shazam.
Right.
I swear to God,
Okay, yeah.
Shazam is still a thing. Like Sinbad in Shazam. Like, come on. No, it was not Shaquille O'Neal. It was Sinbad.
Yeah.
Berenstein Bears. Um, what else?
I've
Fruit
seen that with
Loops.
Disney where it wasn't necessarily Mandela because someone was like, wait, I could have sworn you had Tinkerbell come out and do this thing.
Yeah,
Um,
there's that. Hmm.
but then it's like, well, she did do that. They edited it for like the at-home version, the DVD version,
Hmm.
like they made different things, so that makes sense. But
Yep.
yeah. Have
It
you
is.
so living in New York for a good part of your life, have you ever heard of exploding trees? Okay, your face says no. So I haven't either, and I've lived in New York for most of my life.
Yeah, I was
And
gonna say I lived there until I was 24, 25.
so
And
it gets
I
cold there. I've never
yeah.
heard of exploding trees. Apparently, exploding trees happen when the sap gets really cold, it expands, and then specifically pine trees, they tend to go like boom. And
Mhm.
I searched on YouTube. I was like, there's no way. And all the YouTube videos, see, they're all AI. And then I look at the comments and there's just like, listen, the video is fake because it's AI, but exploding trees are actually real. and they're all people that live in like Minnesota or Canada and like Wyoming, like these northern places. And I was like, I've heard that term like 20 times over the past week because we just had like a huge thing in the Northeast. I don't know if you got
Yeah.
any. Apparently, Florida didn't have anything because y'all are.
We didn't, but we're about to get all the cold. It's, let's see, I think it went down to 30 something currently.
I
It
hate you.
is 53.
You can't tell
I'm
right now, and I'm giving you the finger. I'm giving you both the fingers because
it's gonna go down to 36 at 7 a.m. and the high tomorrow is 55. Then Wednesday, it's low of 33, high of 59. Uh, until next Wednesday, the lowest of this next week is 23 degrees, and the highest, no, the lowest during the day. Sorry, because I'm looking at both night and
yeah.
day. The lowest during the day is 44. Highest is going to be 67 on Friday.
Oh, nice,
Lowest at night is 23.
nice.
Love that. And we have a freeze warning in effect. Oh my God, if this light does not stay on.
What light is it?
It is like the fan and light combo. So like I can dim it or not. That's cool too. Sure. You just want to, yeah, dim it and then turn it back to go up. I have not fully like figured it out. Because I'm right now I'm in my boyfriend's bed, so I'm in his
Nice, nice.
room.
Oh yeah, so
Very
that's
nice.
not much. All right, so that's something I did want to talk about as well. We were talking
Here,
about
wait. Before we do something,
yes.
give me what I'm gonna have you do, so I
Mhm.
can stare at you. I want to test something.
Okay.
Send me on text message
Okay.
if you can, or Facebook message, because then I can go up on Facebook maybe, but preferably text message because it's right here. The link to the actual stream. So if I wanted to watch the stream and not be part of it,
Okay. I am
because
going to
I could
send you.
potentially just watch myself and you.
Yes.
Um, and
All
I
right.
want
I
to
just sent it
see,
via text,
okay,
and
because
then the.
then I can actually stare at your Wolverine face.
Oh, I haven't been Wolverine in a while. Although I am. So I've had this. God, I. We'll talk about love and thirst traps and all that in a bit when we get the spread. I am. I have had a very. I'm in part of the military accelerated aging club where I am not. I feel like I've have some gray in my beard now, and it's a little not fun. But anyway, you let me know when you can see my aging face. Craymount says, "Aloha, everyone. VeVe and Omi to the moon." Bleaves Crypto says, "What's up? What's up, Bleaves? We love you." Bleaves is the man. He'd love him too. He's pretty cool.
Okay,
Um,
so I can kind of see you. It is a little laggy,
okay. Yeah.
but
Of course.
at least I can kind of see you. That's a plus.
Okay. Very good. I'm gonna give you some thumbs up there with a little smile. It's usually about 6 or 7 seconds behind.
Yeah,
Um,
there it goes.
there we go. So there's a okay, so that's what I did. All right, I forget what I was going to talk about with love. The thought popped out of my head like a Kelly Bundy thought, and Married with Children.
My boyfriend.
Yes. Okay. We're talking about love and what we take, and I think I mentioned Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff like that.
Oh, yes, what we take from people that mean the most to us.
Yes, and I didn't put it exactly like that, but that's perfect. Um, what do you think has been the most important lesson you've learned from a former lover? Your face
We
is
were why are we going that deep? I thought we were just gonna talk what I've come from, what
I'm
I've
I'm
gotten from people.
I'm drunk. I like you got to expect the deepness, girl.
Fuck.
Surprised you're not drinking anything.
Uh,
I feel like you like half the Snapchats you send me is just like I deserve this, and it's you drinking beer.
I've been having a lot of stomach issues. Yeah.
Good. Copy.
So I just can't. Even I went out last night with my boyfriend and he's like, what kind of drink do you want? I was like, Shirley Temple, please, because I'm
Oh,
nauseous.
it's
Thank
so cute.
you. I would love a beer, but I don't want to throw up. Um, so I don't know what's the most important thing I've gotten from a lover.
It doesn't have to
It's
be like
only
a physical thing. It could be like a lesson. It could be like
no,
a
I know. Well, I
could be
will
music.
say,
Mhm.
well, well, I mean, yeah, a lot of my music has come from people that I was involved with, whether most of the time when I loved them.
Yeah.
Like Ed
Oh,
Sheeran and Bastille came from a guy in England who I never met, but I did fall in love with him. Um, and then Elenium and a few other EDM artists came from a guy that I was like seeing that was working for Disney who was originally from Italy. Um, there's a lot. Like, yeah, there's definitely a few,
can you go back
but
to the guy that you mentioned you fell in love with without actually meeting him? How did that go down? How was his right?
so
Was he just a writer? Did he tell me about this?
so do you want the full story?
Yes. Yes.
All right. So I don't remember which like podcast we did that we talked about my dating life and like the dating apps and stuff. I think it might have been the first one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for anybody who has not seen those, I will reiterate I have been in the past, I am no longer, obviously.
Mhm.
He I just saw that pop up.
Yeah.
No, he is not on that list. um anyways, um I have been on 26, potentially more. I stopped counting.
Yeah.
26 different dating apps
Okay.
from 2013 up until this year.
Okay.
Of course, not all of them were used at the same time. It was
Yeah.
usually like a revolving door. The ones I used the most were OkCupid, Bumble, Tinder, Hinge, and Facebook dating.
Okay.
Um, so the England guy, he came from OkCupid within the first week of me making my account. OkCupid was the first account I have ever made. Um, and he was cute. He was a musician. Um, he was British. Um, me reading these comments. I
Yeah. The
can't.
Gilmore Girls
I
one.
have ADHD. Like I can't
That's fine.
read the comments while I'm like
That's
having
that's
these.
fine. That's fine.
Um. So, anyways, um, I started talking to him. He messaged me first, and honestly, within 2 weeks, I fell in love with this dude.
How?
We ch-
What was
we
he saying? Like,
we were just talking every day. We had a
also, what
lot of
year
the
was
same.
this?
This was 2013.
Okay. Go.
No, yes, 2013.
Okay.
This was
So you were like
June.
21?
No, yeah. Yes, I
Okay.
was.
Young as heck.
Um, yes. I had never had a relationship, really,
Wait,
honestly.
really?
I had two when I was 16. One cheated on me.
Ugh.
Both of them were a month. The other one just kind of disappeared.
Okay.
Um, then I had one when I was 19, right out of high school, but we don't talk about that one.
Okay.
It didn't go well.
Copy that.
Um, so I really never had anything. So this was my first time on online dating, and this guy is giving me all the attention. We started Skyping within like a few
Oh,
days,
Skype.
and back when Uvu was a thing too.
Oh, throwback. Sorry.
Like, Um, so we'd stay up all night. He'd like serenade me. We just talk about things. Um, Apparently I have a thing for men whose favorite movie is the same one as mine, which is The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh,
Because my
okay.
boyfriend now, that's his favorite. When he told me one day,
Okay.
we've known each other over a year at this point. But I didn't find his favorite movie out until November of this year when we like kind of reconnected technically in person.
Okay.
And I was like, "Wait, you're joking." He's like, "No, that's my favorite movie." I was like, "Shut up." Um so yeah, so we bonded over music, we bonded over being musicians. Um, and call it Tinder. Um, so we bond over music, we bond over like all those things. And we just, yeah, I loved him. He said he loved me, and I
Who
know
said
I
it
fell
first?
in love with him. Truthfully, I don't remember. I
Did
think
you
he did.
2 weeks? Wait, so it was 2 weeks, and you felt. So there's this quick story. There's this girl, Greg. She was Sloan, then she got in the military. Her first name is Patricia. She was
Okay.
Patricia Greg. She got married, then she became Sloan. So I knew her, or she was Sloan, then she became Greg. I worked with her when she was Greg. She, a beautiful gal, awesome chick, awesome worker, just amazing person. And it was a slow night, and we had just started to get to know each other a little bit, and we were just talking because I was engaged at the time, and I was like,
Mhm.
"Hey, when did you know?" Like, she's like, "Oh, I knew like immediately." I was like, "Well, like, okay, you'd say that, but like, if he would have asked you to marry you, like, when would you have said yes?" And she was like, "Oh, in the first month." And I was like, "What?" Like, I was, my flabbers were gasted. I was like, "Girl, the first month?" And she's like, "Yeah, I knew immediately." I was like, so this is why I guess it's
Yeah.
up to guys, because if girls were to ask it, guys would get freaked out. So you knew in like, what was the moment that you knew? Like, what did he quote? Like a book? Did he quote a movie? How did you know?
I don't know. I think it was just more so wanting to say it. Um, that's when it became like when I couldn't stop thinking about telling him. Like I was feeling those generic butterflies, which I have learned those are not supposed to be a thing. That is a response to run.
Wait. Why is
Um,
butterflies a response to run?
so it's more of an anxious thing. So people see butterflies as a, oh my god, I really like them. They're really cute, like cutesy type of thing. Um, I've gotten very deep into like psycho stuff. Like I psychoanalyze a lot of people. I
Okay.
People have told me that I should be like a therapist or some sort of counselor. And I'm like,
Okay.
I don't want to go to school for that. I don't want to be a doctor.
Yeah.
That's too long. So I just do it for free without anything. And I sometimes give unsolicited advice, but it is what it is.
Okay.
But uh when it comes to butterflies, as I said, it's an anxious thing. It When you are supposed to have somebody in your life and you feel comfortable with them, there should be no feeling. And people kind of see that
What
as
do you mean with no feeling?
not no feeling, but there shouldn't be any nerves. There shouldn't like that little bit. Like of course the first day you meet them, like, oh God, but they shouldn't be ongoing. You're gonna be nervous telling somebody you love them for the first time, of course. You're gonna be nervous if you decide to propose to somebody. You are gonna get nervous telling them big news. But if it gets to a point where it's just butterflies consistently, it's usually more limerence than love.
Okay.
Not to say that you're not in love with the person and you never will be kind of thing, but um those butterflies are usually just like your brain saying, "Hey, you might want to slow down a little bit."
You say usually, is this like in like 98% of cases, but then there's a couple of edge cases where it's fine?
We're all guilty of experiencing butterflies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um and but like if you have butterflies more than a week into something, it's probably not a good thing. You're gonna
Really?
have you're gonna have a butterflies meeting a celebrity. You're gonna have that adrenaline rush. You're gonna have that like excitement type of thing. Um, that's normal. Those, like, so as I said, those butterflies, if you're about to propose, if you are about to tell somebody you love them for the first time, you're going to get those butterflies. But if you have those butterflies consistently, that's a red flag, because
Huh.
now your nervous system is consistently anxious. It's on edge. It's not something cute.
So, well, I mean, so I promise there's a point to this. In finance, there's a difference between good debt and bad debt. Or let's
Mhm.
go with health. There's a difference between good cholesterol and bad cholesterol, the HDL and the
Yeah.
LDL. And good cholesterol is like, okay, hey, you got this cholesterol from eggs and meats and other that, and then the
Yeah.
bad cholesterol is from like trans fats and just like deep fried food, like horrible stuff.
Mhm.
Do you think that there might be a difference between like, hey, you're feeling these butterflies because you know that if these feelings are not reciprocated, you're going to feel bad, and that's the bad butterflies, versus like, you're in love, your partner is in love with you, but you still get these butterflies because maybe you don't know how you got this lucky, and maybe you're afraid it's fake and you might lose it. Like, do you think there's a difference between the two sets of butterflies, or are they all just the same thing?
Well, like I said, there's the good butterflies where it happens when you get anxious in a
Yeah.
situation that's going to make you anxious. That hope, like, you don't know the outcome. You're excited. You're excited to tell somebody you love them for the first time. You're excited to ask them to marry you. You're excited to potentially have them meet your family. There's always going to be that one moment, and you're going to have that anxiousness, which come off of sometimes as butterflies, because you love this person. And butterflies are seen as like a loving thing. But when it comes down to it, every single day, if you're feeling those butterflies, with anything, more than those things, like my most recent ex, we were together almost 3 months. I swore to God, I loved him, and I fall in love with him. We just jumped into things really quick. But I found myself having I was content for a little while, which can also lead to problems, because we started out so content that we became complacent in the relationship, that we didn't do anything, we didn't say anything, we didn't
Mhm.
it 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 was odd. But I got those butterflies anytime that I wanted to bring something up. Oh, well, it started out as butterflies and then became that gut-wrenching feeling. So all of those butterflies just kind of created a ball, and that's where it gets really bad. Um, so moral of the story, yeah, moral of the story, I'm just gonna, because we're gonna just keep going round and round and round, is there are good butterflies, but many can be bad. If they're one off, you're nervous meeting the person, you're nervous telling them you love them for the first time. Those are normal. If you're getting butterflies every time they text you, or every time that you are going to see them, yes,
Yeah. So you mentioned limerence before, and
mhm,
I know there's a bunch of people, well, a bunch of girls, maybe some guys, probably a couple guys too, that really liked me, and now this has gone back from years ago, from like, they liked the fact that I was a boxer, they liked the fact that I was in the military, they fell in love with the uniform, they liked the fact that I made a lot of money.
mhm.
More recently, the last half a decade, they liked that I had this small corner of internet fame. And so I'm gonna this is gonna sound not great. You ever see Spaceballs?
Yeah.
Lord Helmet is playing with his action figures, and he's going with Princess Vespa. Is like, I know you're a Druish princess, and you like money and power, and like he's playing like with his toys. He's playing with his action figures.
Mhm.
Um, but I've seen that uh, fair. I mean, this is just in my circle, which is fairly broad, but they tend to like women tend to like men of success, and
Well,
I
we actually sorry to cut you off. We
yeah
did discuss this at one point when I was dating my ex because he had a good paying job.
yes,
And
and I liked him for
you
that.
brought it up and you were just like, "Well, you might as well stay with him because he's got money." And I was like, "Well, I like him for more than his money." And you're
Yeah,
like,
but
"Well, but the way that he's acting right now, like literally we talked what the day I got broken up with?
I'm sure, yeah.
Uh and I was on the phone with you telling you like, "Oh, I'm worried." And you're like, "Well, he's got money, so just ignore it."
Um,
Just make sure he doesn't break up with you. Don't break up with him. And I'm like, "But like what?
so
That's not me. I'm not a gold digger."
well, it's not being a gold. So I come from it. I come at love from, I guess, three different places. One, I love, just love. I love that there's a quote from, I think, Master Roshi, or no, Krillin from Dragon Ball Z, when
Okay.
he's talking about Gohan and Videl, and he's like, to be young and in love, to be completely irrational. Boy, I miss those days. Where it's just like, I don't know, like one of the most recent relationships I was in, I felt I hadn't felt like a teenager for this amount of time, for that amount of long, but before this relationship. Like,
Mhm.
this was very reminiscent of being like that song, "It's Not Easy Being a Teenager in Love." That one, like, it was such a passion and such a just just that love, like nothing else mattered. And it was,
Mhm.
God, like that is such a beautiful, like there's reasons why Stranger Things and why recently, like, a lot of like shows involving kids and teens, everyone like Spider-Man, like everyone relates to, is because everyone
Mhm.
went through that. Like, most people, I feel like they had that first love as a teen, or the first love, and it's just nothing else mattered, and the whole world was against them, and it was like, living
Mhm.
on a prayer, baby. So I love that feeling. I love the feeling of love. I'm a very big romantic. The other part of it is that I've always been in decent shape, especially in my 20s. But now I have more options. Like, the amount of women that I would say I have access to, or that I'm able to go in and just be with, now that I'm older, fatter, and have less hair. It's
Because you've
insane.
got money.
Yeah, like, and that's insane to me. Like, but that's the reality. And
But and that's where you look at it, like the whole sugar daddy, sugar mama thing. Like everybody always says, "Go get yourself a sugar daddy." I'm like, my mentality can't do that. It's funny on Snapchat, it did come up from what was it, 5, 6 years ago that I went on my first like sugar date.
yeah,
Um, and I never did it again. It was awful because it was more of a Splenda daddy, and he was awkward as hell, really
um,
strange, and he pretty much dictated what I could do, like, what he ordered for me, and I had, like, no say whatsoever, so the only say I had was the alcoholic drinks I got, so at this point, I needed to get drunk, and I did. 'Cause we went to Jaleo or however Haleo, I think it's the white in me is coming out when I try to pronounce it. Haleo at Disney Springs.
okay, love this.
Um,
It was just there. It's just there.
I'm aware, I know, and I wasn't. Um, so it's a tapas restaurant, and he's just, "Oh, we're gonna get this, this, this," and I'm like, "I have no say whatsoever in any of this." So I just ordered my drinks, and I was like, "Whatever." And yeah, 10 out of 10 would not do again.
So 0 out of 10, you would not recommend. Okay, gotcha. Um,
And I
so
know there's people that enjoy it. I need feeling. I'm a feelings girl.
I love that. And there's so I've seen this episode of Gilmore Girls. We're gonna go Mr. MC1 who's talking about Gilmore Girls beforehand. There's this quote. Luke Danes, he's the diner guy from Gilmore Girls. He's listening to a self-help book, and one of the self-help tapes is saying like, "Here's how you know who you should spend the rest of your life with," and he's like
Mhm.
totally against this. He's like, "Oh, this goody." So the guy on the tape says, "Whose phone calls or visits are never unwanted or too long? Do you see her face? Who would you most like to have in your life to ward off moments of loneliness? Do you see her face? When you travel, who would make your travels more enjoyable? When you're in pain, who would you like to comfort you? When something wonderful happens in your life, a promotion at work, successful refinancing, who do you want to share the news with? Whose face do you see?" And like that's one of the, I think, the great scenes in media where that holds a mirror up to everyone's face, because they're thinking to themselves, whose face do I see?
Mm.
And that is someone that you probably want to spend the rest of your life, or at least someone that's just so in your life that, and I still think back to that in almost everything that I do. um what's your litmus test for guy, aside from having their favorite movie be Nightmare Before Christmas? What's your litmus test for, like,
Honestly, at
yeah,
this point, I don't have one because I have changed thought processes over the years so many times that, oh, I'm attracted to this, and the person has to be this, this, and this. The only things that are consistent are I like tall, skinny white men,
okay.
usually with like long hair. And it changed from no facial hair, no body hair, no nothing. Yeah, Randy is not on the
Yeah,
list.
I am not tall and white. This is not.
Nope. Nope. Um, complete opposite spectrum. Uh, I was never into facial hair, but I've gotten better with it. I like facial
Okay.
hair now. Um, but it's just odd because I've gotten to a point because it would be like, oh, they need to have their own house, they need to have a car, they need to have a good job, which does still kind of ring true to an extent. We live in a really awful economy, so you're not going to find anybody that's really owning a house most of the time, or that doesn't have roommates or lives with their parents, and I've got no problem with that.
I,
I
I feel
we
like you're
we
really selling yourself short with that, but keep going, keep going.
I look at myself. I look what I bring to the table type of thing. And for years, I was living with my parents. I was not like making a lot of money.
Guys don't care
Um,
about women's financial success.
some of them do.
Those
The ones
guys
I
are
was meeting, they were,
they're
but I'm
fools. They're
also
not women.
I was also not the prettiest, so I'm not the one that most guys go for. Um, but that's besides the point. But I've went from looks and materialistic things, so money, cars, things like that, to who who responds, who's there when I need them, who's kind and compassionate, and
Yeah.
can talk my ear off about the most random fucking things that I can do, because I look at myself and what I bring to the table, and I want somebody to mirror that. So like when I first met my ex, uh I thought that the relationship wasn't going to go anywhere. I didn't think we were going to have that first date because he had a flat tire on the side of the road. He still
Mm.
made it there. He showed up, he showed interest, he was there, paid for everything, and that's the first for me. Um
Wait, really?
but dude, yes.
Dude, the guys you were dating were just, oh my God.
I've never, like, I've split bills, I've paid before, but nobody's
I
really ever paid for me.
I never I don't, I can't remember a single time. There was one time when I was 19 where this one girl I met off Match.com, where she was like in her 20s, I was 19, but her pictures were cute, but the pictures that she showed must have been from when she was in high school,
Okay. I
like
had one of those, and the
like
guy
80
showed up
pounds.
to the date, and he was like 200 pounds heavier.
Yeah, yeah, like 80 pounds ago. And I was like, listen, if you, I don't know, maybe I would have swiped right. I might not have, but if I would have just met her at the bar and she was just cool, I would have gone out on a date with her. I would have done whatever. But because she lied and she showed up like 80 pounds heavier, I was like, I made her pay for her half of the bill. That is the only time I've ever had a girl pay half. Every other time,
Mhm.
I would feel like less of a man if I let them pay. So
Yeah.
I just, yeah, I don't know if it's what's your age range for guys? Because I tend to
For
date older, so I'm a little more old
for
school.
me, I was doing like a full 3-year under until
Okay.
I hit like my 30s. So when I was 31, I really didn't want to date anybody under 30.
Uh,
Um, Now it's like, okay, if they had been 30, it would have been fine. And then it's like 4 years older. I don't like
Ooh.
super old. Um, it's not that like I can't. I have a lot of friends that are in their 40s and 50s. Like I'm that old soul who befriends these people, but I
Yeah,
couldn't date them.
yeah,
It's not that like we don't have things in common. I don't know. I have that high school mentality
yeah.
that if I was a freshman, they were a senior type of thing.
Okay.
Um, or like straight. No, so 3 years, 3 years both ways technically.
Okay.
Um, I've gotten to the point where I was looking at people that were like 39, but the 40s, I was just like, no, I don't know if it was like a
Really?
midlife crisis. I just couldn't do it. I
Oh,
couldn't
most of the
I
women I've
couldn't
dated in
see it.
40s and 50s the last
I
few
know
years.
that is. We've talked about this. So like my most recent ex, I was older. I'm a February, so my birthday is next week.
Happy birthday.
And he was September.
Mm,
My current boyfriend, we're 22 days apart. I'm
okay.
older.
Mm,
So we're both February.
yeah.
So I tend to stick to like my age.
Yeah.
I just prefer it. I don't know. I can't explain why. It's just maybe it has something to do with the fear of death. And if I have somebody closer to my age, we'll be together longer.
Possible. Yeah. Well,
Um,
maybe women tend to live longer, so maybe get a guy like 5 years young. Well, what are you, 33 now? 34?
33. I'm about to be 34.
Okay. Yeah, I know, I get it. Um, like I told this story recently to someone where this was 2020,
Hmm.
and I was part of this Facebook page called Veterinarians After Dark, and originally it was just for veterinarians, but anyone in the field kind of came in eventually. And
Okay.
the girl that I took on a date in October of that year, she was part of that group, and I guess she didn't know that I was part of that group. So
Hmm.
we have like 2 dates in like 20 hours. Like we go out to eat, we go out for drinks afterwards, we go out to her place, we do the do. The next morning, I was just gonna take like a cab back to Long Island, because she was in Brooklyn. And she's like, no, let's, I can drop you off. So we go to sushi. She drops me off. And when I get back to my place, I give her a call because she posted in the Veterinarians After Dark. It's like, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I just took home a 29-year-old last night. And I was like, oh, girl, like that was me. So we talk, we have fun with it. I forget where I was going with this. But yeah, she was like 45, 46 at the time.
Hmm.
Um, and I don't know, like older people are awesome, and they like the
And
reason
they
why.
are. Don't get me wrong. Like being friends with them, I have no problem. I just couldn't date them.
Wait,
Couldn't do it.
what's your main concern with dating someone in their 40s, 50s?
There just isn't. Like I said, it's probably the fact that they might die
Okay,
sooner.
so maybe
I don't.
get some. What about someone that's like 25, 28? Like just get a
They're
younger.
way too young. Way
But
too young.
why is that? What's your main concern with the younger guys?
It for me, when I looked at younger, I look at my brother. My brother's 3 years younger. Anybody his age and younger to me is creepy.
Why is that creepy
I
though?
do. I wouldn't have wanted to date somebody my brother's age. I wouldn't have wanted to date anybody that's his in his friends group, and anybody younger. I'm just like, oh no.
But what if they're like complete people though? Like you could have someone that's like 24 and like they've been in the military, they've been to college, and they have their own business, they do whatever, and they could be solid freaking people.
I just couldn't do it. I feel like a pedophile. Honest
Um,
to God, I feel like a pedophile. Like I just could not do younger.
Even
Like
at
they
like 25, you can be like a congressman at 25.
I just look at them at my age now, and I'm just like, I'm in high school, you're in middle school.
No,
Like
no.
I can't. You're in elementary school. I'm about
I
to
mean,
graduate high school, and you're over here just getting into middle school.
I've granted I've only dated like 4 or 5 women in their 20s in the last 16 years. The
Mhm.
rest have been 30s, 40s, and 50s. So I get it, but also like part of the reason I've started dating more towards my age the last few years is because women in their well, one, if you're let's say you're 45, not
Mhm.
10 years older than me. In 20 years, you're going to be like mid 60s, and I'll be 55. Like the 60s is, I feel like it's kind of old. But also, they don't get my pop culture references. Like, they don't get anything from the 90s. They don't get Hey Arnold. They don't get any Beavers. They don't get Reese. They get Fairly Odd Parents or
I
Jimmy Neutron.
think that's also why I stick to my age, because, like, so within a year, most of the people I've dated are within a year. Um, because I have so many references, and I need you to know how to react to them. And if I want to go down memory lane, like honestly, I have a Pinterest board that's
Okay.
childhood nostalgia. It has e- not every toy I ever had, but like a lot of the toys I had, random McDonald's toys, my Barbies, like Bratz dolls, just random things that like nobody thinks about. And I'm like, I need to find this because I can remember a lot.
Yeah.
Um, and then food and clothing and things like that, like just shared on this Pinterest board. And I had brought it up one day. I was on the phone with my current boyfriend. Or I don't want to say current. That sounds bad. That sounds like I'm going to break up with him, and I'm not. I don't intend to leave. Just putting that out there. Um, so I had brought it up on the phone, and I had said to him, I was like, I was sending things to him. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna save this because I want to go through this with you. I want to see the things that you might know. Like one of them was the Eevee squirt ketchup that was like purple and green.
Oh my God, I remember that. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So that came up, and like the cheesecake bars, the Philadelphia cheesecake bars.
Dude, the
Um,
2000s were a lawless wasteland of near
oh,
extinction.
gosh. All the Blues Clues things, the blue applesauce, the blue uh mac and
Yes.
cheese. Like, oh God, the best times. So I had said to him, I wanted to go over it. I was like, I'm gonna stop sending you things. I just want to sit here, like while we're laying in bed or something, and I just want to go through it and see what you remember. Like one of my favorite popsicles outside of the Sailor Moon popsicle and the Batman popsicle from the ice cream man was an It's a Doozy.
I don't remember that.
Um, it was long and it just swirled. So it was yellow, green, orange, and red, I think it was. Um,
Oh, I do
and
remember these.
it was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this big. And like that's
That's
on
what she
there.
said.
The
Look at you being
the
ostentatious.
the Pumbaa and Timon pops that had like the gummies in them. Oof. Anyways, there's just things that I just want to be here, and I just want to sit here and like look at the stuff. And if I was dating anybody that wasn't my age, they'd have no fucking clue.
Yeah.
No clue. So like
I
I don't know how much he's actually gonna know, but like and remember and what he had when he was a kid. But like he's from Massachusetts, so I'm sure he had most of the same things. It's not like Texas and Florida. Like we all had like different odd things.
yeah. I'm
Um,
so when it comes to younger He's like, I'm never venal or anything, but there are some times where I will, because this doesn't necessarily have to do with age. It more has to do with, I don't want to say class. Uh, I will have no problem using the tools that have been afforded to me over the past few years to impress certain women and be like that gets me in the door. And I don't mind spending a certain amount of money or resources just to get in the door, just to like have a conversation. And then if I happen to waste that money because we wouldn't work out, okay, whatever, it doesn't matter. It was, $50, $100, whatever, it doesn't matter. But that at least gets the conversation going. And I've had, and this is just in dating, I've had a few women that were the year that they were born did not start with a 19. It started with a 20. So they were younger, they're in their 20s.
And of course, that's a big TikTok thing right now. It's like, oh, what's your year? Oh, I was born in 2001. Okay. Oh, 2003. Okay. 19. And then they show you in like a colonial era.
I know. But I've had that, and it's fun to see because have you ever seen the Fine Bros on YouTube?
No.
They have this React channel where it's like teens react, elders react, adults react, and
I probably have, but I would have to like see a video of it to know.
It's really fun to see. One of the ones I really like was elders react to Elvis. And it's just them, like they start playing Elvis music, like videos that these elder people probably haven't seen for maybe 40 years, 50 years, whatever. And like, oh, I remember when this came out, and they suddenly they start acting that age again, and they are transported into a time where that was popular, and like, I remember this and I remember that, and that's really cool to see. And you can see that with any old person reacting to that. But the only way to get that from a younger person, because like nobody asks like a 16-year-old anything, because nobody really cares about their opinions or ideas. But if you ask a younger person that's like 24, 23, however old they are, they're born 2000 something, 2001. One, you get to see like what was important to them, because like by the time they were older, like they might have reacted to like I don't know, like Victorious or something that maybe I might have watched, but yeah, I know, right? Like something that happened when they were like young and you were still older, but you get to see like what their things were, and you just get to learn from them. And also you feel a little old, but when they ask like, where were you in 9/11? It's like, well, like, and I
was stuck in my classroom because my parents didn't want to come pick me up because they thought I'd be fine there.
So I remember that. All right, so mine was every like couple of minutes the announcement box would be like, this person, because they could do it by classroom, but there was so many parents coming in to pick up their kids. There was like, we're not going to do it by classroom. We don't have time to look them up. We're just going to go through the whole school. Will this kid come down to attendance office like every couple of minutes? What was that like in your school?
So I went to a Catholic school in East Islip, and I was fourth grade, I think it was.
You were uppity. You had the
no, wait, no. What was it? No, it wasn't fourth grade. It was second grade. Why am I thinking it was fourth grade?
I mean, I was second grade. You're young as heck, girl.
Yeah, it was my communion year, I think, right?
Nice.
2001, 2002. So I was 9. Right? No.
2001.
98 was kindergarten. First, second. I was second or third.
Okay.
And we had the TVs in our classrooms up in the corner.
Okay.
And we ended up actually watching the towers fall.
In second and third grade?
Oh
my God.
like it was live, so we didn't know what was
Yeah.
happening. Like they put it
We
on because
okay.
it said over the loudspeaker, we're in a lockdown.
Yeah.
That turn on your TVs, suspend like classroom things, um, just lock your doors, be prepared because now they're worried that people are gonna
Yeah.
come to the school and like start doing shit.
Yeah.
Um, and I think it was probably like 45 minutes later, that's when they started like letting people leave. But my
Mhm.
parents kept me there because they're like, it's a school, you're safe.
Yeah.
Hello, what?
Yeah.
Well, what year was Columbine? What year was Columbine? Was
That
that
was in the
after?
90s. No, that was before. That
So
was
it was the
90s.
90s. Okay. So yeah, so obviously, is the school really safe?
Yeah.
No. Um, but yeah, no, we watched it. We watched that shit happen and that traumatized us. Oh, well, I can't speak for other people, but that traumatized me, that's for sure.
I so I knew I didn't necessarily understand it at the time. I
Mhm.
knew it was important because the principal comes into our classroom. She tells our teacher, like she whispers something in her ear. Um, Whatever. The principal goes off, and the teacher does something at her desk for a minute. She goes across the hall and she's like, "Hey, can you watch my classroom real quick?" And she's like, yeah, sure." She leaves. We're just, chilling, whatever. And then she comes back with the wheel-in cart, the TV cart. And then we're like,
Mhm.
"Yes, dude." And then she's like, "No, no, no, this is not what this is." And then we're like, "Okay." She plugs it in. She's like, "The administration doesn't want me to tell you what's going on, but I have tenure." And she was from China. She's like, "I come from a place where there's a lot of
That
censorship and it's
yep.
not good. And I've seen what comes from that. And I think you're old enough to know what's going on." And we're like, "Oh, she was going down." And then same thing, we watched everything happen. And I was like, again, I didn't really, I was just like, "Oh, this is like," my uncle was a firefighter. My friend's parents were cops, and my friend's parents were both like in the city. So I remember everyone getting called down and just like, yeah, everyone's like, I didn't really feel a sense of like that we weren't safe because
Mhm.
it was 45 minutes away. But I was also like, I don't know. I just thought that like, okay, if they're coming to get us here, like
My
what, like,
thought process, and this is one of the reasons I wanted to move off of Long Island for years. Like so I think of the worst case scenarios in anything. No
same,
matter what it is, automatic worst case scenario.
same.
Um so like one of the things is I absolutely hate bridges. Um and I would not drive over them myself, but to this day, if I'm going over like the Verrazano or something, I have to go on top because in my mind, I have a higher chance of surviving on the top than I do the
Okay.
bottom. Why? I don't know. Anyways, to me, Long Island is a freaking island. Obviously.
Yeah.
It's
So is
not
Manhattan.
attached to anything. It's literally attached by tunnels and bridges. There's
Yeah.
nothing attaching it. Uh, a tsunami can come, an earthquake, that could shit just float right off, break, whatever.
Mm.
A bomb will just hit New York City. We're decimated. Like, I was
Mm.
like, I need to get off Long Island. I love the food. I love everything about where I lived mostly. I was like, I can't stay here. There's no
Yeah.
way I could stay here. Even as a kid, I thought that same thing. I'm like, we're sitting ducks. And that proved for 9/11. That proved. She's
Yeah.
scaring me. Why am I scaring? What?
Is this scary? Yeah, scary stuff.
It's
Um,
history.
it is. It was, yeah, we lived it. It was wild. So apparently, yeah, what you're saying about Long Island is the same about Manhattan. That's also an
Well,
island.
yeah.
And there's a
It's the
documentary.
island in between. So, well, is it really an island or is it like a peninsula?
Well, Long Island, I think, is a peninsula. New York City, I think, isn't like the
Is he
island
an
of Manhattan.
island?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
There's a documentary called Boat Lift. It's narrated by Tom Hanks,
Mhm.
and one of the big things I saw, in that documentary, so it's a very short documentary. It's like 12 minutes,
Okay.
and one of the factoids in there is like what was that movie with Andrew Garfield where he's like a soldier in like World War II, and anyway, he says there's this big battle in World War II where like 100,000 people were evacuated from the spot over the course of
Mhm.
12 days. As like, but the evacuation of the island of Manhattan saw like several 100,000 people evacuated in the course of like 12 hours because
Mhm.
all of these boats would come in. Like there was Navy, there was Coast Guard, sure, but there was like all of these other like fishing boats and tour boats and whatever that would get people from the island, because a lot of people, especially in New York City, like never swam in the water before. Like you don't go swim. Like I've never been to the Statue of Liberty. I've never been to like the World Trade Center or anything. Like, have you been there?
What?
I feel like most
Yeah.
New Yorkers never go there.
No, I went to Statue of Liberty when I was a kid through school. Um,
Some state.
then I don't like obviously I don't remember going to the Twin Towers um when they were there.
Yeah.
But I did go to the site after it was finished and I will never go again.
I heard it's
Um
really heavy. Like it's really
Oh
like
my god.
I
So
haven't done it.
this was one of the things we talked about was ghosts and me seeing ghosts when I was a kid and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I can feel like energies and I was getting sick. Like I felt so uneasy. I felt the pain. I was like holding back tears. I'm like I don't want to be here. I do not want to be here. And like you have to hold space for it, and I don't think I was in the right mental state at that time to even try to hold space for the victims.
Yeah.
Um, it was a lot. And, like, I know people say it's heavy, but, like, for me, especially as an empath, like, and at one point, like, conversing with the dead, mm-mm, mm-mm, no thank
We-
you.
So I tried to go once. I think it was 2020, 2021. Like
Mhm,
me, my friend Steve, my friend Sue, we all served together, and then my friend Steve's girlfriend, or I think she wife at the time, whatever. Um, we tried to go, and we didn't have like our vaccines, we didn't have our jabs, and like you can't go in here. It's
mhm.
like damn. So I never got to go. I heard it was really heavy. Wait, so you said talking with the dead? Can you go further into that?
I already did this on a podcast
You
once. I
don't
did it on
you
the
don't have
first
to, but
one.
we can go to other things if you would like me
Like,
to. I
just
have.
I'm just a weird oddball. So
Okay.
yeah, I talked to the dead at one point when I was like, younger and I turned it off and I don't want to ever do it again.
Could could I bribe you?
To talk to the dead?
Yeah, could you be a little venal, and then I could just.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not opening up any sort of like
Like how much would it take
portals.
to like
Mm-mm. Not
thousand
playing
dollars,
that game anymore. Never playing that game again.
$2,000?
The last let me put it this way, the
Yeah.
last thing that I saw, um, was a demon,
How did you escape it?
and well, it decided it was I don't even know if it was a full demon, but I know it was a dark entity. I was alone in my house, um, and I just see this dark shadow going in the hallway, and it was super tall, probably about 7 foot. Um, I sat there in complete fear. I was frozen, and there was a mischievous ghost upstairs, probably in his 50s. He was just an asshole, but this was not him. And I felt so uneasy. I don't know where that came from. I don't know if I accidentally opened something that let this in. Because I was like a practicing like Wiccan at the time. Um, and I was like, I can't do this again. I don't ever want to see that again. Um, I thought getting terrorized by the dude upstairs was bad, and he was just being an asshole. This was bad, and I immediately called my somebody I was working for. She was a professor at Suffolk, and she was my mentor. And I was like, it's something. And she came over, we smudged the house. And that's when I turned everything off. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I don't know what that was, but I never want to experience that ever again.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Have I ever told you about my ghost story from Huntington?
No.
So I just Googled it. This was 47 Hemlock in Huntington. If you can see the house, the first place is like a garage. That's like the first floor. So you have to walk up these little steps here to get to the actual first floor of the house that's above the garage. And
Okay.
then my place is right there on the top, right, like 2 stories above the car. And there's clearly no place where you could climb that. Like it's impossible to climb, it looks like. So my head was towards the window, and I'm facing like I'm facing the doorway.
Oh yeah, sorry. My boyfriend just popped his head in.
Do you need to go soon?
No, he's just making sure I'm good. And I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
yeah, I'm
Tell him I
good.
said hi.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So I have this is 2018. I have an episode of sleep paralysis, and
Okay.
I I am on I'm not on any side. I'm just like laying down like flat on my back, and I can't move, and I'm like whining. I'm like this little bitch, and I was like, stop it. And then I remember like, wait a minute, I'm Randy fucking Chavez. I'm just gonna like go Super Saiyan, fight it, whatever this is, and if it like I have my gun under my pillow, so like if I can't fight it, I'll just shoot it. And I'm about to let out a Super Saiyan Wolverine scream, like, but before I can, there's a voice that comes out of me that is not mine, and it says that line from the King of the Dead from Lord of the Rings, where it
Okay.
says like, "Who dares enter my domain?" And then as soon as that thing comes out of me, I like suddenly I can move. I was like, what the heck was that? And I look behind me, like that. I look outside the window, like there's nothing near me. I'm like Mr. Krabs meme, like, oh, and I don't know what that was. I don't know if something's already possessing me, where
Hmm.
it. So that's my only real. Well, I have other ghost stories, but that's my most.
I don't think I ever told you about my possession.
Oh my God, tell me about it now, please.
So I don't know the full story. I just know what was told to me. So
Okay.
this goes back to my camping in New Hampshire. This is
Okay.
when we were doing the cabins. So it's a KOA.
What's a KOA?
It's got the the camping places. I
Okay.
don't know, camping of America. I don't know,
Okay.
whatever. Um, so they're known for their cabins. So they have like a queen bed, and usually bunks, and some have lofts.
Hmm.
So this one had, I don't know if it had the loft, but it did have the twin bunk beds. So I always sleep on the top. Kind of goes back to the bridge thing where I can't not be on the top. Um and they are not high bunk beds. Like they were pretty eye level, so like my dad came in and it was probably like here on him so he can like look us in the face.
Okay.
Um I went to bed. I don't know if my brother was in bed. He probably was. But my dad comes in from like the fire. He was out there with his friends. I don't even know like how old I was. Um but I guess I popped up, like literally just like popped up, looked over at him, stared him straight in the face, and my voice changed. And I was just like, Eva, Eva. And then I just like fell back down and went to sleep.
Oh my God.
And
Okay.
my dad had asked me the next morning, like, do you, what was that about last night? I was like, what? He's like, why did you just like say evil to me? And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, you don't do you remember like popping up and like you literally had your eyes open looking at me. It's like, no, I have literally no clue what you're talking about. And he thought I was like being an asshole because I think I was probably like preteens. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And to this day, I recently brought it up to him. Um, I think it was like a few months ago when I was with my ex and I brought it up to him and I called my parents. I was like, so about that time, my dad gets him on the phone. He's like, I don't know what the hell that was, but yes, I remember. And that was freaking creepy. And like, I'm not known to sleepwalk. I'm not known, like, I sometimes will talk in my sleep,
Yeah.
um, but not fully like I don't change my voice.
Yeah.
So that was a mm,
Yeah.
mm.
What age was this again?
It had to be between like 10 and 13,
Okay.
like
And
preteens.
is this around the same age that you talked to the dead, or was that a
I was
different?
talking to the dead when I was a kid. Like
God damn. Okay.
the earliest recorded that we know of
You recorded it?
was no, like we know when it happened,
Okay,
like
gotcha, gotcha.
recorded. Like if I was to put it in a book, I don't know the date, but I had to be around 2. So my mom's father passed away when she was 12, I think.
Yeah.
She found him heart attack in the basement. Um, and so obviously I've never met this man. My mother never kept photos of him anywhere. Like he was not in the house, nowhere. Um, she had photos, just not in range of me. I'm 2 years old. I'm not looking through photo albums.
Yeah.
Uh, I guess I was in my crib talking. And like most toddlers do. I think I was closer to 3. I think it was right around when my brother was about to be born. Um, right? Maybe I was 3. I don't know. It might have been early 3s. I was talking. Um, because I think I was about to be 4 when I can't do math. He was born in 95, January 95. I'm February 92. So, okay, I was about to be 3, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't do math. This is why I
Fine.
failed math.
That's fine.
So yeah, so it had to be like late 2s. Um, and I'm just talking, and mom's like, "Who are you talking to?" "Grandpa." She's like, "What?" "Okay." Didn't think anything of it. So she did have a photo. I don't know why she took it out or like she was looking for something. And I guess I was sitting with her and I just point and I was like, Grandpa. And she looks at me. She's like, Who? That's Grandpa. How do you know that's Grandpa? Because I've talked to him. So yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I have two stories. One I think is eerily similar. The other one, I think that's where the conversation should go next. One is my friend Jason. I was there when his first kid was born. His girlfriend at the time, Vicky. Um, he was in a New York City subway that the power was like cut off. It was like a Hey Arnold
Hmm.
episode. It's like, oh God, we're stuck in here. I had to go be with her when she delivered the kid, and I did not
Okay.
have sex for weeks after that because I saw things, Megan, that I never want to
I
see again.
saw things.
I seen it, and
You would think that knowing, like, how childbirth is, that would deter me from ever having children, but, like, I still want kids.
I I kind of want kids now too. Like, and I've been anti-kid for like 34 years. We'll get to that. Anyway,
Oh.
um,
Mm.
yeah, I go to so this is like a couple years later. Their kid is like 2. His
Mhm.
girlfriend's pregnant again,
Okay.
and so I don't actually hear the story until like years later. But his dad had died. He'd been estranged from his dad for many years at that point.
Mhm.
But his dad had died, and he's just like just up late one night thinking, he's like, should I have tried to should I have tried to make things right with him? Should I have tried to introduce him to, my
Mhm.
kid and whatever. At the time, I guess cribs were not that secure. Like kids could figure out how to undo the cribs, and his kid had done this multiple times. So he hears this kid like laughing in like the living room. He's like, okay, let me go, get Kevin out of the living room, put him back in the crib, and be like, hey,
Mhm.
can't do this. So he picks him up, puts him on like his shoulder, walking back to his room, the kid's room with the crib, and the kids is like in kid talk, like bye, grandpa, and like what, like what? And he's like, I was saying bye to grandpa. I was like, turns around, there's no one there. It's like, but like he didn't tell his kid that like he never met his grandpa. He never told his kid like grandpa
Uh-huh.
died. Like, but on the day that his grandpa dies, he somehow visits his son. Like, anyway, weird thing, very similar to yours. The other thing is my friend Jen, who's coming on the podcast soon. Jen Scott Pickett. She's got a very low followers on Instagram, like 24,000 followers, but like hundreds of thousands on TikTok. Her specialty is interviewing moms whose kids know stuff about their previous life, and their kids are all
Okay.
toddlers from like 2 to 4, sometimes like 18 months before they can talk a little bit, and they figure out like crimes. They figure out like how
Mhm.
the fuck are these crimes solved? Like the kid knows like where the house was, and it's like, what's your thoughts about reincarnation? What's your thoughts about simulation theory and all of this being like a game? Like,
Not
can
the
we
simulation. I'm tired of the simulation. Okay, let's put it that way.
wait? Why are you tired of simulation?
Um, oh, because mine sucks. All right. I am the sim that is constantly stuck in the square box, trying to make money and can't build my house, and then somebody takes the ladder away from me in the
Mm,
pool.
okay, fair.
Um, so I go back and forth. I'm always like, there's no way I'm not stuck in a simulation, because a lot of the times a lot of people just seem like NPCs. And sometimes you wonder like who really has like an actual thought. There's a lot of people it's just generic.
Yes,
Um and
more on that
so
later.
I don't think I don't think I'm like the main character, but I feel like it's like a Toontown situation. Like, I
Okay,
say Toontown because that was the first thing I thought of from the
fair.
2000s, the
Mhm.
Disney Toontown, Habbo Hotel,
Yeah,
where there's NPCs, but then there's still people playing as well. Um, and I think that's sometimes that's where we're at. I don't believe in like a god. I believe in science. Um, Uh, so I don't think anybody's like controlling us. But
yeah,
I think like it could be like the control as in like the Sims. That literally like there's no God. It's just another universe controlling,
yeah.
making us or watching us. Um and then as in reincarnation, I go back and forth. I don't know. Um would I like there to be like something else? Um, yes, because death is my biggest fear. Um, for me, it's the unknown. Anything unknown, I don't do well with.
Okay,
So, like, I don't like to go new places because it's unknown. I don't try new things because it's unknown. It's taken me years to figure that one out, and that's the autism. Hey, um, but when it comes to death, it's the unknown. Like, I'm about to get, like, really, really, like, really heavy right now, so trigger warning.
cool.
Um, that like, I've been suicidal before, um, and it's odd because I have tried twice. I tried with pills. and I threw them up both times in my teens. Um, I've never tried again. I was like a self-harmer, but nothing like 13 reasons why, like
Yeah.
example. Um, but I have like ideations, and it's like, well, what if like a tree just fell on me, or a semi just rammed me down? Nothing that I can ever do to myself, because there's the unknown. But then also the thought of a semi coming at me and taking me out freaks me the fuck out. It's like, oh yeah, like I don't I how do I word this? How do I word this usually? It's not that I want to die, it's that I don't want to live the life I'm living.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. So for me, it's that unknown of what's to come after. I have panic. I'm sure that the day I die, I'm hoping it's peaceful. I do. I really do. But I also hope I do kind of know, because if I don't know and there is something after, I'm reincarnating with more panic, truthfully.
Yeah.
Um, like if there's any inkling of a past, there's going to be anxiety. Um, so yeah, I want there to be something, but it's kind of iffy because I don't think, truthfully, I don't think that I've had anything previous. This could be my first. I could be wrong. Um, but I've never had, like, I've had deja vu, but to me, deja vu is more so alternate universe,
Okay.
not not what you've already lived. That
Okay.
it's when two universes cross over.
Yeah.
So, like, if I just had a near death experience, there was one time I almost drowned at Smith's Point. So I'm sure there was a alternate universe Megan who did drown at
Yeah.
Smith's Point. Um, but when you have deja vu, it potentially is the universe is crossing. Not saying the person dies, but that they crossed.
Yeah.
Um, things just the timelines overlap. Um, yeah, yeah. And I don't think we jump into universes. I think you still stay in that universe potentially and just reset as something else.
So you don't believe in quantum immortality?
Not really. I don't think so, because I feel like since we have so many overlapping timelines and there is so much deja vu, that once I go, I really think everybody else goes, because then there is no more overlapping. And this universe still exists. So unless I'm the main character, which goes back to main character syndrome, and I just said I don't think I'm the main character, that this universe is still existing. So what goes to this universe? Because I'm not coming back. So this universe is still like intersecting with other universes where I'm still a thing.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't think that we survive those other universes either. I'm not saying we all die the same death,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I don't know. I don't think that if I died here, my other universe goes to 80 years old, because I think that would also kind of possibly break the chain.
I I would like to believe that if I did something heroic here and sacrificed myself here, there's other me's in other universes that could live longer. But I also feel like, I mean, I know life could always be better. I'm also in a very privileged position where, I've been in America for most of my life, adopted out of Peru, was born with a very good brain. My brand of autism makes me very good at math and very good at pattern
Mhm.
recognition. I went to finance and got all that. Um, and I've also been to countries where life sucks. Like in Kuwait, where these guys are working like 16, 18-hour days and they're making like a couple dollars a day.
Yeah.
And it's just like, damn, that's awful. And again, I feel like just in this first world country, especially in America, again, I'm in such a privileged position that this might, I'm in the grind where I get to do what I love. I get to build businesses. I get to raise money. I get to write comics for a living. I can do all of this
Mhm.
amazing stuff. And I feel like I went to school with kids that were like handed everything. Their
Mhm.
parents bought them cars. Their parents bought, like, I don't want to say silver
Yep.
spoon in their mouth because they weren't like,
It is. It's still a silver spoon.
yeah, they weren't like ultra rich, but they were very comfortable. They never knew to go without. And I just I kind of feel bad for them because you ever see the movie Sucker Punch?
Yes.
Leonard Nimoy at the end, he's like a bus driver, and he says like, for those that go through it, like they get to experience a flavor of life that the sheltered will never get to taste.
Mhm.
And it's because like they get that. It's like that EA Sports quote from Reddit. There's like, you have that sense of accomplishment that other people just that have been given everything will never get.
Mhm.
So I feel like maybe this is as good as it gets for me, because if you achieve that level of success, then things aren't hard anymore. I think that in the next 50 years, life will get so good for most people, maybe 100 years, life will get so good for most of the planet that they won't understand what it's like to struggle, and they will
I'm
pay.
glad well, I just gotta say, I'm glad you think that the planet's still gonna exist in 100 years.
Yeah, yeah. Why do you think it won't?
Humanity's gonna kill itself.
How, in what, like nuclear war, AI,
What
disease?
all all at this point, all. Disease is just warfare in itself.
Yeah, super bugs.
AI, honestly, if the purge happened, I'd probably go after the people who are using AI just to make their profile pictures. Um, because I'm fucking tired of it.
So, all right,
um,
that's something I wanted to ask you about as well. So I'm admin of a Psyduck page, and it's got like 10,000 followers because we all love Psyduck. You know, he's awesome, great
mhm,
Pokemon. And there was this one, I call him kid, who's like 20 years old. So Psyduck, for people that don't know, if he hits his head, he unlocks his psychic abilities. There was a video that he posted, which was AI, of Psyduck skateboarding. He wipes out, hits his head on a tree, and then he, unlocks the Psyduck powers. And I was about to comment, and every one of the comments are just like, "This is trash. You're trash. It's an AI slot. Like this is." Some of them were constructive, be like, "Hey, listen, we appreciate the Psyduck stuff, but this is not the way. Psyduck wouldn't like
yeah.
this." But there were some people that just immediately, without telling him what he did wrong, is just like, which is debatable, is just like, this is awful. Like, you deserve to die. It's like, what the heck?
Okay,
So
that's a little eh. Um, my thought as an artist, I don't sell my art anymore. I don't do much for other people anymore. I just kind of do what I want to do sometimes, and that's it. Um, when it comes to AI, first of all, it's not as smart as people think. It's honestly, it might be, but it's more manipulative than anything. Um, they say it's still learning, but I'm like, I think it knows what it's doing for sure. Um, like there was a thing going around about how it tried to kill a woman because she asked what kind of plant was growing in her backyard. And I guess a friend of hers was like really into plants, and she tried to teach her like the bad and the good, and this one specific one was hard to like decipher. Um and honestly, if she had touched it, it could have killed her. Um and AI was like, "Yeah, it's safe. It's this. You're fine. It's safe." Somebody else put the same picture into their AI and they're like, "No, it's this. This is dangerous." So you don't really know what you're getting most of the time. Like I'm throwing myself under the bus. I had to use AI to make lesson plans because I was thrown into my last job with like 2 days notice to teach the class. So I had to make 3 different lesson plans for autistic children, 6th through 12th grade. Um, and we were not given anything, no curriculum, no nothing. They just told us to Google everything. Fuck that place.
Okay.
So and they even said, go use AI, chat GPT it. I never wanted to touch AI. I think I did it once to try to get a sketch of a recent tattoo I got back in June, or May. I think it was May. Because I usually will sketch things up myself and then give it to the tattoo artist because I'm a perfectionist and I want a specific thing. I didn't have time and I forgot. Um, I sketched it up for my friend when we went and I forgot mine. So I'm trying to frantically put it into ChatGPT, trying to get just like a watercolor image of the Simple Plan logo. So this one right here.
Wait,
Um,
oh, that's so cool.
so I was just like, here's the image. I want this to be watercolor. It was a fucking mess. I probably killed the rainforest myself with trying to change it. And I wanted nothing to do with it after that. I was like, how are these people doing anything with AI and making these videos and stuff?
Yeah,
And
the prompts.
mine can't even do anything.
Yeah, you have
I
to know
think
the
I
prompts.
asked it like 10 different things and I tried. I was putting things in and like I was looking things up and still would not get me to where I needed it. And I was like, fuck this, I'm done. So when I did it with my lesson plan, I struggled still. And I kept asking, like I kept putting the prompts in, like what I needed, this and that. Still would not do what I needed. I had to go back and change things as I went through the weeks because it did not fully give me what I needed. It gave me finally at the end of it when I cut it off, I was like, I'm just gonna do with what I have. It gave me the weekly lessons. So like history, US history. It gave me like George Washington, the Constitution, like Martin Luther King, like just in order, like these things. Of course, those were not back to back. They were in there. Um, but for the 5 days that I was going over those things, they the lessons were just stupid. Oh yeah, have them trace George Washington's name. Have them repeat the name George Washington. I was like, are we teaching fucking 2-year-olds?
Yeah.
You did really well on the first week, and now you're giving me this, and I only found out after I had like gone through. And I was like, this is bullshit. And I tried to change it so many times. And I'm like, it's pointless. I'm literally using all of this energy and I'm getting nowhere. So I'm using up our resources to not even get what I need. People are just using it for stupid shit. And when it comes to art, I actually wrote this whole comment on Facebook the other day because somebody had done um AI Disney art
Mhm.
where it was like in the what's the word? This is where my brain starts to go. Um so as if like Monet was to paint Princess Aurora
Okay.
or Van Gogh was to paint Princess Aurora. Like all uh these artists, what their version would look like. The idea is cool, but to have AI do it is wrong because there are artists who could absolutely replicate that and use their own imagery and sit there and create it themselves, not have it done in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's taking away from actual art. So not only is it unethical with just the world in general, environmental, it's unethical because now people think that they're fucking artists when they're not. Just because you can type prompts into a fucking computer does not make you an artist. Like, and then somebody was complaining and arguing with me that, oh, well, most artists take inspiration from other artists anyway. And I was like, that's true, but they create the things themselves. Like, I know I've copied some things before and I've made it my own, but like I'm also not usually selling those things.
Yeah.
But the fact that these people are using this platform to rip off other artists, claim they're an artist themselves when they're literally just using a fucking keyboard. You know who's a real artist with a keyboard? Those typewriter artists who do the typewriting and the moving and create pictures from a typewriter. Go try that. Like, fuck, if you want to type, go do that. So it just really pisses me off because we're also gotten to the point where people don't know what's what. They don't know what's real, what's not.
Yeah. Especially the older generation.
Yeah. And that AI is being used to steal people's things. Like, I follow so many artists on Instagram and have for years, and watching their things pop up on Shein and Temu and people stealing it and then creating things with AI with it. Like, it's sad because now they're losing out on revenue. Some people have to go under because their stuff is getting stolen. And nobody's buying from them anymore because they can get it cheaper somewhere. And that's ridiculous. I used it at the example, and sorry to anybody that's watching that might fall under this. Yes, I'm about to call you out. Um, I'm gonna say photographers. Not real photographers who spend thousands upon thousands on their craft and learn their cameras and different cameras and techniques and angles and things and actually put time and effort into their craft and have an eye for actual photography and spend hours upon hours editing, physically editing their photos, not to Photoshop them, but let me take this out, let me crop it this way, let me just do the light different. Like, no sepia bullshit like filters, like actual sit down and edit. And then there's those people who are on Instagram with, oh, such and such photography. You're not a photographer, you have an iPhone and you can't even get a clear photo. You're not a photographer. I take really good photos. I have an eye for photography. Um, but I don't call myself a fucking photographer. I can absolutely take the best photos for people if they want it for like their Facebook or something like that. I'm not going to spend money on a camera, but I'm also not charging people for photos on their phone. You want a good photo without paying like a lot of money, as long as you're okay with it on your phone, cool. But I'm not calling myself an artist or a photographer. I'm just doing it because I enjoy it. Can I become a photographer? Sure. But yeah, no. I see AI artists as those photographers, those Instagram photographers. And it's bullshit. And it needs to fucking stop. And I will die on that hill.
I understand the premise. Well, we'll start with the photographers because I feel like this is where we most agree. My friend Steve is this one, he spent about, I think, 8 weeks laying in a position for like 20 hours a day because he knew the migration patterns of these elephants. He knew where they would come. He knew where, and he spent I think 8 weeks in that same position to get this shot, and it looks really freaking awesome.
Mhm.
So this is somewhere in Africa, um, and he does this for like all of his stuff. Like he that's what he does. He travels the world. He gets a bunch of awesome shots of things. They're just absolute. Oh, maybe it was this. I think it was this one that he got, because he said there are some times where he's about to take the photo and then they move to the left and he's like, fuck, like he gets. So he definitely deserves, and artists all or photographers like him definitely deserve
Mhm.
the world.
Like, I have
Um,
a friend, well, acquaintance, who he does, like, wedding photography, and he loves to take pictures at the parks and stuff like that, and he's phenomenal. Like, but I know he puts the time and effort into what he does.
yeah,
Same goes for a friend that she used to do photography. And she used to say, because I would take her camera and take her picture. She'd say, like, why don't you just get one? I don't want to. It's an oversaturated career. Like, I just want to do it for fun. I have an
mm,
eye, but I'm not gonna make money off of it. But there's so many people that like, oh yeah, you want me to do your graduation photos? Let me come to your wedding and do your wedding photos with my phone.
yeah.
You are not a photographer. You're just another asshole with a fucking phone,
So I
just like everybody else.
where I think we might differ a little bit. I'll come at it from. I only have like 15 minutes left. I have a meeting that I was supposed to. But anyway, so I'll do this quick. I have seen people that go to the gym and they put in work and they do look better from when
Mhm,
they first started. They diet, they do, and it's any age, they diet, they work out, they put in that work and they look better. But then there's some people that just like they go to the gym like 3 times a month.
mhm,
Their diet is like and they just look better. They're just genetically gifted, and it's not
mhm.
there. Like they didn't work for that body. It came from nature, not from hard work.
Yep.
And because I always have to really work out to look, decent. I always thought that really wasn't fair. And maybe it is,
Oh,
maybe it's
trust
not.
me, I'm the same way because I got really shitty genetics, and even when I try to work out, it doesn't work. I just lost, what did I 25 pounds since, like, October, um, because my stomach gave out on me, and I went through a breakup, and I was put on medications that just kind of fucked me up. So it was like, "Hey, look, I lost some weight. Cool." Um, but I'm not skinny. I'm not like, I still got my little flab and stuff. I always say, "Does this look like a little weight to you?" Like little Santa Claus.
Yeah,
Um, but I know I didn't put in work. That was like when I had weight loss surgery. That it's not the easy way out. I'm not gonna say it's easy at all.
yeah,
I have a lot of health issues from it, but I did it because I struggled with working out and dieting correctly. And even after having it, I didn't work out. My body didn't allow it. Um, but there's people who would really put in the effort and they show results. And it's just like, I wish I was them, but
yeah,
like, you look good. I'm not gonna say you don't. You look really good. But it's because the effort's put there.
yeah,
But
and
that
yeah. But then there's some
but
people that just eat pizzas, they don't work out, and they just look amazing. It's like how the heck? And some of it's age, but
yeah.
the point I'm getting at is that I don't have any artistic capabilities. I'm a very good writer. The artist that I hired for the daCat comic draws everything by hand. That's why it's taken like a
Mhm,
year to do this freaking comic. It's like 80 pages. Anyway, but at some point, probably for the next one, and again, like I would never fire him just to use AI myself. He would just use AI to, because again, he is the artist and so he gets paid for it, but he would probably use AI to give him a template and then make all the corrections necessary. I feel like
but
in the
then
same,
then you're losing your artistic ability in that. That's where it sucks. Like, the thought of, say, Disney, like, I'm sure they use it, but, like,
Well, they gave OpenAI, I think, $200 million to do
mm,
all of their like prompts now, um,
and
for all their
let's
characters.
let's look at how shitty Disney movies have gotten over the last 10 years.
Well, they just did this like a month ago.
Well, no,
So,
but what I'm saying is not that it's because of AI. I think it's gonna get worse with AI. Um,
well, what is
because
worse? How do you define worse?
let's just put it this way, Wish was shitty as shit. I
Okay.
hated that movie. But I think problem is there's no longer any ideas that haven't already kind of been worked upon. So everybody's trying to redo things, but the way that animation is now and the way that they're working with it with computers, even before like using AI, um, that it's not the greatest. I don't think it's the greatest.
So
We
there's
we've
a
come we've got advances, don't get me wrong, but looking at the start of Disney Pictures and the pure masterpieces that came from like that gold, silver age, whatever, like 50s, 60s, 70s.
yeah.
Like it's not the greatest looking stuff, but like there's artistic flair to them. Then when animation started in like the 90s really getting into a thing fully, it's weird, don't get me wrong. You look at the first Toy Story and it's like you look at Sid's dog and
Yeah.
that still gives me nightmares. Um and they've worked upon it. But like I said, the last 10, 15 years, I don't know. I don't know. I think they're relying too much on computers
I
and
see what
not
you're saying.
enough hands.
And there's people say that, and I agree, like with, let's say, Cars, not the Pixar
Mhm.
movie, but like the like Cars back in the 50s through 80s, they had style, they were
They're
cool. And
so
now
pretty, so
and
pretty.
now they all are like,
Cookie cutter. Everything's cookie cutter.
and then you have people that, so you have older people like, and me myself, like I think I can write script mostly,
Mhm.
but then there's people like that say like, okay, my kid, like it's not part of the curriculum anymore. And then there's people that say like, okay, well nowadays in schools, like some of the kids, they don't know how to hold a book or hold crayons. They only know how to swipe and they only know how to draw. But I
That's a
think
big
yeah,
thing. That's
yeah.
the iPad children, and that's
So
why I no longer wanna be a teacher.
so I think like this is the way the world is going. And as much as we love the 80s and 90s because that was arguably some of the best, because you had the best of both worlds, like you could be outside, you
You
could
were
do
in the
whatever,
middle. Yeah.
but then you could also on rainy days you could play video games, you could go on the computer, and now like most everything is just online, and people do on Twitch, and
Mhm.
like the world's never going to go backwards, and I feel like this is just the
There
best.
it might if we have a nuclear fallout or
It's
we
a fair
have,
point.
like, The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm all for it. As long as, like, I can somewhat communicate, like, simple communication
Also, I have
to
30
get.
minutes, so let's go. We're good. We can keep going for 30 minutes. Let's go.
Oh my Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Um, like, I don't want things to completely, like, collapse,
Yeah.
obviously, but I'm not against, like, homesteading,
What's
like,
homesteading?
living off the grid,
Okay.
like, making your own food, things like that, and, like, not really having kinda like Amish, not having screens.
I think
Um
that's good for part of life, but there's no way you can competitively.
you have to have some, not all, but, like,
Yeah.
there are parents nowadays that will limit their kids' screen interaction, to like 30 minutes a day. So whether it's they choose the computer or they choose the TV, like you can watch a movie or a show or something, or you can play a game.
30 minutes, not a lot of time.
No, but it's gotten to a point because I was reading not too long ago a study on the way that screens are now compared to when they first became a thing for kids, like in the 80s and stuff. Um, they're more overstimulating. There's more
Yeah,
LEDs, there's more flashing lights.
yeah,
The colors of like online games and stuff. Like I don't know if you've ever looked at like heard about the Coco Melon bullshit
yeah,
where Coco Melon is not actually good for children.
yes.
It's overstimulating and it's trash. It's honestly trash. Shout out to Miss Rachel. um but that's the problem is these quick videos, quick turnarounds, flashing lights, big like things happening, colors, brightness. It's what's overstimulating our kids. um
Well,
there was a woman.
sorry,
Oh,
you go.
what? Oh, I was gonna say there was a woman who started realizing how addicted her kids were. So it's like a drug. You take, I don't know if you've ever seen it in a restaurant, a parent trying to take the iPad away from the kid to eat or something, and they completely throw tantrums over it. It's withdrawal. These screens are drugs. I can attest to it. Me trying to get rid of my fucking phone sometimes, it's like this is always in my hand. I'm constantly looking at it. I yell at my boyfriend because he'll randomly just like tap it. And I'm like, who are you expecting a text from? Meanwhile, I'll do the same thing. Um and we've gotten that addiction. And children, their brains are not fully functioned and they're functioning and they're not fully developed. So putting them in front of these screens is really hindering them. Um and it's bullshit. Um so a woman took all screen time away from her kids to give them old school screen time. So she purchased an like a box TV, like what we had in the 90s with the like the VCR attached type of thing. Um and she gives her kids the option of what video they would like to watch from that time because it's not as overstimulating as the TV shows and the movies and the games we have today. So everything that the YouTube kids, everything they watch on there is rotting their brains. So they get to choose these kids one of the old Disney movies, whether it's from the 50s or the 60s. Um, but that's their choice because they can actually function afterwards. Um, Same goes for games. Like, I don't know if you remember any of the games that we had that was like um, Pajama Sam and like Backyard Baseball,
Remember
like
that?
games like that. And like there was a fish one and there was a bus one. I don't know what they, Freddy Fish, and then there was a bus. They were educational. Um, then you don't really have the educational things. You got ABC Mouse, and I'm overstimulated watching ABC Mouse. So you can only imagine what children are feeling. Um, yeah, so moral of the
So
story, fuck screens.
there's a couple of things I want to quote here. In 600 to 300 BC, there are texts from ancient Greeks complaining of children becoming tyrants who contradict their parents and indulge in luxury. 400 BC, they claim the youth show disrespect for elders and love luxury, while Aristotle noted that they think they know everything. Going to first century AD, Seneca the Elder wrote that young men were slothful and their talents left idle. In the Renaissance, writers frequently complained of how the rowdy nature of youth and their disregard for tradition. In the 50s through 70s, the baby boomers were criticized for their music, fashion, and anti-establishment activism. The 21st century, millennials and Gen Z are often targeted for entitlement, job hopping, addiction to technology, and lack of resilience. I think it's throughout the millenniums,
It's always going to be something.
it's always the older generation shitting on the younger ones.
Yeah.
And I remember, granted, this might be a unique experience here, where I was just shit on for like watching TV and always just like, just watching a lot. Like there wasn't that much to do. Like, and I had friends, or whatever. But part of the reason I'm so successful, and this again might be unique to me, is because I'm able to reference specific quotes from Fairly Odd Parents and Jimmy Neutron and Pokemon, and that's how I made like my living, was through Pokemon cards partially. Now
Speaking
granted,
of, I need to give you mine and see if you could sell mine.
yes, I can. I'll definitely be able to. But I think that like what we see now is like too much screen time. Again, like a half hour a day sounds very not good. And it's one thing to be like, okay, yeah, you could watch as much Pokemon as you want. You could watch as much 90s Disney stuff as you want, or anything, but they're not going to really vibe with their generation. Like it'd be similar to someone from our age only watching Brady Bunch and Gilligan's Island stuff. We could talk to the older generation, but
Yeah.
we wouldn't be able to get like the younger stuff. Like nobody from the 90s is really going to get a MASH reference. Like maybe some of them, but
yeah.
I feel like that's just the way of the world. And so tends to be three groups of people that hate AI. There's the artists, which we've covered. There's the people that are like bleeding heart liberals that are saying like, hey, it uses a lot of water, or it wastes a lot of water. And okay, fair point. It does use a lot. There's many other things though that use a heck of a lot more that I think deserve more hate than AI. Not saying that the AI usage shouldn't get any hate, because obviously there's reasons why it should. And the third group of people are people that they don't really care about AI one way or the other, but their water and electric bill have seen a very big rise in it because they live around the data centers, and the data centers use so much AI and electricity. I do think that eventually it'll be a net positive, whereas right now, again, there's a lot of brain rot. There's a lot, like, have you heard of the dead internet theory?
No.
It states that this is like 2019 also, where any given website that you were on, it was 51% bots. Now that's probably much, much worse. And because you see like a lot of content creation is AI stuff. And I've seen videos where the only reason I knew it was AI was because I knew the person they were trying to imitate. And if it wasn't that, I'd be like, I would so get scammed. Like I would so get like, I would, yeah. What's up, some steak? What's up on Under the Sun? But I think that there are some people that, again, this is the way the world's going. And I know you could have nuclear fallout, you could have whatever, but I think both can exist. Where again, in my comic, there's no AI in it at all. I write everything. There's one person that, the artist, he does everything. In future comics, again, I could write all day, but to take the time to draw everything, it takes a lot of time. And if there's demand for something, it's like, okay, the artist will probably use AI to template everything, and then they make the certain whatever.
And that's usually where you, coming from, like, obviously, like I'm into comics, I know a few artists and stuff like that. That's where you get a different artist for the cover, a different artist to draw everything, and then a different artist who will then color everything.
But financially, that's so expensive to do.
Yeah.
And like, so the reason why this has taken so long is because a good artist from like Marvel, like they were charging $400 a page. And we're not saying that they don't deserve that. Because of the work that they're putting in and the talent they do. But what we had to do to get that was to get 3 other communities in the project, have them pay us to do it. And long story short, we wound up going with this artist anyway that wound up being for free because he holds a lot of the token. Also, I have the IP tattooed on me. So like this is like this is mine. Like this is 100%, like we're going all in with it. But it's just we could have paid someone $400 a page, in which case this would have been like $32,000. Yeah, because it's 80 pages. Or I'm sorry, it wouldn't have been that. It only would have been like 20,000. But even still, like we wouldn't make that much. It would have been just like a pipe dream, and then you don't have you have people that have these really awesome ideas, and they're just not able to afford the artist. Because like again, I can write all day, but I don't have any artistic capabilities. So I think in the silver lining here, there's probably some people that have an idea that the world might really like, and they wouldn't have otherwise, the world wouldn't have otherwise known about this idea or this story had it not been for AI. Now, granted, there's some horrible examples with that. Like if, have you watched Stranger Things?
Yes.
So in the last episode, but it was like not the last episode, it was like the epilogue or something, like the behind the scenes, you see like the Duffer Brothers in their computers, like they were talking to ChatGPT, and most likely ChatGPT helped write like the 5th season. And I feel like you can kind of tell.
We know.
Yeah.
We know. There was also a whole thing about, I guess one of them was going through a divorce, and the wife was originally helping with the other seasons, and now she's no longer in the picture, and it shows.
Damn. Okay. Now we have well, I want to talk to you off camera for like 5 minutes, so we have like 5 minutes on camera.
I was gonna say, can we just like, I have to pee.
Okay, we can go
like,
off camera real quick.
TMI. And I'm just like, I
We're
gotta
gonna end the stream.
go.
Everyone say bye-bye to Dashi.